First and foremost, we look for figure. Now, I can cast in a number of different ways. Sometimes I just catch a glimpse of a girl standing in a doorway with a bright light behind her. Or maybe as she walks behind a screen or a piece of gauze. But I never miss a figure.
Think silhouette.
Never.
Silhouette. Straight ahead.
Weapons handling is also important.
Yes. Now turn to your right.
If she's swimming towards a screen or carrying a harpoon or turning slowly towards a camera with an outstretched pistol, I need, and the audience needs, to believe that that is real. 133% real.
Keep thinking silhouette. Now gun pointing to your left. Go. Lovely, lovely. And point it. Point it. Who are you going to shoot? Who are you going to shoot? That's right, that's right. Turn it into a harpoon.
Silhouette filmmaking, or silhouilmaking, is in my blood. My father did it and his father before him. My grandfather Gunter cast the very first silhouettes in a Bond picture. It was revolutionary. I mean, you look at that footage now, you see how it's dated. The font of the titles, the polka dots, but those three gentlemen walking slowly across the screen with walking sticks. It's haunting. And he really had to fight his corner to get that through. They said, "Why don't you like them? Why can't we see their faces?" And he stood firm. He said, "That is the story I want to tell. Of three elderly gentlemen in silhouette." Of course, they asked, what's that got to do with James Bond? And the answer to that, he took to his grave. (1902 to 1971). If it's not lit from behind, it ain't worth lighting. So of course it was a cathartic moment when my dad took up his father's mantle to carry on the work of the great Gunter Gorzynski. And that movie was Thunderball. My father told me that Connery spent a lot of time poolside that week. You know, principal photography was finished. He didn't have to be there, but he was. Couldn't get rid of him. Like a fly around shit. My dad's goal was to redefine what silhouettes could do. Audiences loved the harpoons, but he wasn't finished. He was an innovator like my granddad. Of course, this was the late 60s, early 70s. There was a lot of drugs about. Dad was high. The crew was high. The girls had to be high. But that spirit, that creativity, that desire to push boundaries comes through even now. The Spy Who Loved Me was the first time my dad used a trampoline. He said he got the idea when he was trampolining. Sure, some of the girls were unhappy. They thought that the bouncing motion was exploitative. No, up and down, bouncing, naked. You have to remember, this was an era when women's rights was a big issue politically. So, by means of appeasing the feminist lobby groups, my dad put a man on the trampoline. They tried him naked, but it didn't take. See, Cubby Broccoli put it best when he said, "Nobody wants to see a naked man on a trampoline." For me, The Spy Who Loved Me, or TSWLM, or to Swilm as we sometimes call it, is the Citizen Kane of silhouette work. You've got the trampoline, you've got some great close-up pistol work, you've got cartwheels, Russian hats, the tiny lady on the gun held by the giant lady, and of course, Susie on the barrel of the pistol.
Nobody does it better.
Nowadays, the technology may have changed, but the work we do is very similar. For Quantum of Solace, I took the skills I learned from my father and grandfather and built them. We use complex digital compositing and CGI,
But while the work we produce is something completely new, it's still grounded in the rich history of the craft.